Peace, peace. This is your host, Selah-Shalom, and this is the Cosmon Teachings in the Words of Jehovah and His Angel Ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible, OAHSPE. And the topic of discussion today is called Mortal and Angels, the Sum Totality of the Cosmos. Now, you have two governing systems, the corporeal worlds and the spiritual worlds. And on the corporeal worlds, the governing body are mortals, human beings, terrestrial beings, whatever name you want to give us. And in the spiritual world, the governing bodies are the angels, the Elohims, the Neteruls, whatever name you want to call the beings in the spirit world. Now in the cosmos, on a terrestrial and a spiritual, man and woman are the sum totality. Now when it comes to God, as I've been explaining through all of my videos, God is a title bestowed on an angel. No different than a king is a title bestowed on a mortal. So it's showing you the connection between the terrestrial and the celestial or spiritual. As above, so below. Now a question that people have been asking me and was curious about is, who came first, the angels or mortals? Or the angels or humans? And to answer that, it was man, or mortals, or humans. Humans precede angels. And then at the same time, angels precede humans. Now you're saying to yourself, well, that don't make no sense. Now I have to explain this. Let me explain how it works. And then when I explain it, you're going to see the validity of the Creator and the in-depthness and the boundlessness of His works. Now, there's a system in order to creation. Some people believe that the angels were just blotted into existence. Like God said, let the angels be, and blop, there they go. But see, that doesn't fit in the cosmological sense of things. When we look at nature and in the cosmos, nothing just blops into full perfected creation. It's a development, and then it's a process and growth to all things on a natural level, on a nature level, on a netter level, and on a cosmological level, right? So this is how it works. The planet goes through 4 ages. Not just our planet, but every terrestrial body in the cosmos goes through 4 ages. These 4 ages are in comparison to the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And the earth in the first season is forming itself. It's called the time of creation, where the earth goes from a vortex to condensing into a ball of fire, to cooling down, creating the mineral kingdom, and then in return the vegetable kingdom, and then in return the animal and mortal kingdom. That all takes place in the first age, called the time of creation, or the age of Simu, according to OAHSPE. And then after the first age is the inhabitable time for animal and man on the planet. And that's the age we're in right now, the inhabitable age of the planet. And then after the inhabitable age of the planet, you have the time of barrenness, where nothing can generate and grow on the planet. And that's in comparison to fall. When the leaves start falling off the tree, you try to plant a seed in fall, it won't grow because the soil is barren. The earth goes through that on a grander scale. And then after that is called the 4th age, the age of rest, where the earth will be considered as like a dead planet before it starts off in the first age again. So these are called the 4 ages. Now, the most important period out of those 4 ages is our time, the inhabitable age. This is the time period of the creation of man and woman to the extinction of man and woman. That's the inhabitable age. Now, man has an angelical side of him. We are in the likeness of the gods. And the gods are angels, and they look like us, or we look like them simultaneously. So when man and woman was created on the planet, he was created with the spirit within himself that will be born after his death. So it's like a seed planted within a seed. And at death, the spirit within you is born, and the resemblance of the spirit is as the physical body. And through death is when you become the spirit or the angel. See that? This is how humans precede angels. Because in order for you to be an angel, you had to come through the terrestrial womb of the woman first. You had to be born through the flesh. All angels were once mortals. Now, for example, when man was created, he was in a state of ignorance and darkness. Ignorance in the sense of having no knowledge of who he or she was. No different than an infant child who crawls and does not know himself, does not know good from bad, does not know what is good for him, what is bad for him, it'll put anything in his mouth. That was the nature of humans in the beginning. It was a growth. They had to crawl before they walked. They just didn't come in knowing all things. A baby doesn't come out the womb knowing all things. So there's the similarity of the beginning of man played out through the child coming in blank. So the angels came to mortals or humans to help lift them up and make them aware of who they were. So when these angels came to man, their duty was to educate man and make him aware of the Creator and the nature of self, and basically start the educational process. No different than when you start to teach your child how to pronounce sound. And then from sound, you teach them the alphabet. And then from alphabet, words and sentence. So was it with man in the beginning, and the angels were the teachers. See that? And this is what they talk about in the beginning, the gods, the sons of gods were here and all that. Yeah, that's true. It was what some people will call extraterrestrials, angels. They were present in the early time period of man because man was helpless. Just like a child is helpless, he needs assistance. A child can't fend for himself in his early stages. Likewise with man. So when these angels came, their duty was to uplift man. Now these angels that came are older than man of this earth. But the thing is that they went through the same order wherever their native planet was in the cosmos. So regardless of how far away in the cosmos they were, they still had to go through this process of growth like they're bearing witness on our planet through us. So when the gods came to see us, they said, well, goddamn, this is how it was in the beginning with us. You see that? So this is how mortals or terrestrials came before angels in that sense. But there's no beginning to it. You see that? There's a beginning for each terrestrial body created, but there's no beginning to when it started. No human being and no angel or God or Elohim or Netaru can put a pinpoint on when creation began. Because for every human created, they beheld creation before them. We beheld the sun, moon, stars when we came into this world. And when we die and become a spirit or an angel, we will behold the mechanics of the spiritual world held in place in the cosmos, which preceded our coming into the spiritual world. See that? So this is how terrestrial man came before angels. Because the angels had to be terrestrial before they became angels. As simple as that. Simple as that. OAHSPE explains this. And it'll say that, you know, hear, O man, thy God is one like you, a one-time mortal on the planet. Died, crossed over into the spirit, became one with the organic bodies in heaven. Now I come back to tell you that when you cross over, you will proceed to these realms like I did. See that? But he had to he was once a human being first. He just didn't, an angel just didn't come into existence. The Creator didn't just create angels from nothing. They had to come through the terrestrial, learn terrestrial corporality, physical, and then through the lessons of physicality, when we die and cross over in spirit, we'll begin the lessons of spirituality, which we began on earth. Because spirituality and physicality is basically one and the same. Because spirituality is physicality. Because in the spiritual world, it's tangible just like in the physical world. They talk about the heavenly kingdom. Well, if you have a kingdom, that has to be tangible, where you can touch it. They talk about the throne of God and the seat. It's tangible. You can touch it. So physicality and spirituality is one and the same. It's just different levels of planes on the cosmological order. See that? So mortal and angels are the sum totality of the cosmos, doing the will and the works of the Creator.